The president's obsession with discrediting the media is reaching a new platform, Google. President Trump tweeting this pre-produced video today where he claims the search engine ignored his speech to Congress, but instead promoted a live stream of President Obama's State of the Union speeches. Google quickly refuted that claim and explained that they did indeed highlight President Trump's 2018 State of the Union, but, quote, "We have historically not promoted the first address to Congress by a new president, which is technically not a State of the Union address." So let's start here. CNN senior media reporter Oliver Darcy is with us, and social media and tech expert Lance Ulanoff is back with us as well. And so let's just start with the president's tweet, Oliver. What more do you know about why he did that?
It's really unclear why he tweeted this particular video, but like you pointed out, it's not grounded in fact. Google did in fact promote the President's State of the Union address in 2018, and they don't promote the first address to Congress every year. That's technically not a State of the Union address, and it was no different when Obama was in office. But this is part of a larger push from conservatives where they allege that these social media companies have bias against conservatives, and it's very similar, I think, what you see them doing with the media, where they say that these powerful entities are pushing a supposed liberal bias on consumers. There isn't really anything there in most of the instances that they point to, but it's part of a larger agenda, and it's really a political issue that they're using to whip up the conservative base, excite the conservative base for the midterms.
Along the same vein, I was reading, I get my top 10 list from Mike Allen and Axios every morning in my inbox, and he was talking about his interview with President's son, Don Jr., Lance. And so he said, this is a quote from Don Jr., "Exactly zero doubt in my mind that tech bias is real. I don't think this issue is going away because I don't think it's changing." And then he even entertained the idea of building a conservative social network. This is what he said. "I'd love to do it, but what I would prefer is take one or two of the Silicon Valley conservatives and let them start it, and then I'd help promote the platform and be all over that." Huh?
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Starting a social platform that no one is on. One of the
facetious.
One of the difficulties of starting a new platform is that your friends are all on the other place. Oh, by the way, the president is on Twitter, so starting an alt Twitter, a conservative Twitter, he won't be there because he's got his whole audience there. He's not going to do it. Same with Facebook, and it doesn't.
Is the idea insane? Grab some conservatives from Silicon Valley?
It's not insane. It can certainly be done, but it'll take a really long time to get any sort of traction and leverage. Certainly not what they want to do. This is a distraction. Obviously, we've got the midterms coming up here, and they want to be talking about that. But one of the things that I really walked away from with this is that Trump doesn't understand Google search at all. He doesn't understand this technology. It doesn't matter. He basically says whatever he wants. He doesn't understand that search is built on a whole bunch of it. It's built on PageRank. It's built on signals. It's built on heuristics. It's built on context. He doesn't understand it.
He says it's political.
He simply saw something from a study that was done that is kind of debunked and went forward with that. But it resonates with his base that has a deep distrust of technology. And I will say, there are real conversations to have here about data and privacy and algorithms and AI, but this is not the way to start that conversation.
You, my friend, got an interesting phone call last night.
Yes.
Steve Bannon, of formerly a White House chief strategist, he calls you up and you have a conversation with him about tech and conservatives. And what does he say to you?
Well, he says a lot of the same stuff that you hear from the president, but he is actually a little more radical than Trump himself, particularly when it comes to talking about these executives. He plain called them evil. He said, these are run by sociopaths. These people are complete narcissists. These people ought to be controlled. They ought to be regulated. These people are evil. There is no doubt about that. And so,
who are these people?
These are the tech executives at Facebook, at Google, at Twitter. He said that these are all evil people, and he said there's no doubt about it. And he also said that he thinks that the government should seize the data that these tech companies have accumulated over the years.
The government should seize the data. I'm looking at Lance's face.
And put it in a public trust.
This is a fantastic idea. They're already distrustful of tech companies that have the data, but let's give it to the government where they're always afraid the government is watching them, the government is looking at this stuff. It's just, and which is it? Is it regulation or deregulation? Because it's deregulation one point, but with tech companies, let's regulate them. That's all I have heard. tech companies are dealing with a whole new set of problems they never had to. When they were building these technologies, they weren't thinking left and right. They were thinking the broadest set of people to make a business. And now they are struggling every single day to figure out how to satisfy both sides. You look at Twitter's Jack Dorsey, who went forward and said, yeah, we have kind of a left-leaning bias at the company or the people, but we try so hard to make sure that doesn't get in there. And then he went on Hannity and he talked about it. So, because they're scrambling. These tech leaders are scrambling to try and explain how difficult it is and how much they just want people to enjoy their services.
The bottom line is this is a tactic used to whip up the conservative base, to get them excited, to take them out to vote, to get to fundraise off of them. We saw the president earlier this week. He started fundraising off of this alleged Google bias. So I think you're going to see a lot more of it in the future.
That's the bottom line.
Yep.
Summed it up perfectly. Oliver and Lance, gentlemen, thank you so much. We should have more conversations about this as I'm listening to the two of you. Thank you.